Hi everyone, it's BDevine again, here for another little bit of a flame frequency, a little bit of an update on this day before the 11/11 energy coming in as well. So yes, I'm just really enjoying spontaneously getting up and making these videos and getting some information for us and sharing it here. So thank you so much for those of you who are now part of our Patreon flame tier. This is where all of the webinars are going to be held. You can rewatch them, and also there are plenty of other posts for you, daily updates or almost daily updates and behind the flames. So there's extra messaging for those who are flame tier patrons. Okay, so the update for today. So let's have a look at this collective message as we are moving into this 11/11 vibe. Okay, so the 11/11 portal is not a destination, it is a collective ignition point. Whenever we have specific days that are in successive numbering like this, or there's a special convergence or an eclipse, or there is a full moon or a new moon or something that is igniting these changes. We have this Pluto, we have Mercury retrograde right now as it stands today, and we have different things like this. It starts to build this ignition point, and you will be able to tell when there's a ignition point, like you're being pushed to the brim, right? So many of you have been maybe going through stresses or deeper situations, again, like I talk about, things that are just coming back at you from the past. And so when we hit this portal tomorrow, okay, it is another ignition moment. We're not waiting for light to descend. We are instead rising. Okay, this is what's really important about this work, is that we're no longer waiting for instruction. It's going to start to build within you. Okay, we are the flame that rises. So the timelines again splitting up. Two roads now diverging. One that loops into all of this mimic stuff, where words are just regurgitated. It's the same kind of thing. Same fortune telling type of, does he love you? Does she love you? Is he cheating? Is she cheating? How do you know when this is happening and this is happening? It's just the same, keep you in that negative loop. So we're watching these now, and we can start seeing, and it's not just that, it's other things like the galactic stuff and the different types of channelings and the old or we're going to look at the old tablets or this or that, or and it's like we've heard all this sort of nonsense before. It never really goes anywhere. And when you're starting to pick out who is who, okay. So, and it's also about friendships, it's about work, it's about relationships at work, it's about what work you're doing, whether this is moving, whether this is right for you as well. So one is a loop timeline, and one that opens up to true energy or vaults, where these different documents of purpose and dragons of prophecy and the sovereign guardians, and we're understanding the connections between the ancient places on the earth. Our guardians are becoming firmer. So I'm not sure if you've noticed this, but if you're connecting with your guardian angels, for example, right, they're just a little bit more to the point with you, okay? That's because they're very, very close within our energy field. It's like there's no more hoping, praying, wishing, all that sort of stuff. It's just there. So we're standing at this gate of no return. And at this time, this gatekeeper is not outside of us, it's within, right? This is what's happening. Okay, there are different areas within the universe that we're able to travel to energetically. And we usually have, and also down into the earth and in sacred places, and these places can be connected with us, right? And normally we have, if we're going to some location, so say for example Uluru, right? If I'm traveling energetically to Uluru, which I've done recently and uncovered a problem there. I'll explain that at another time. But what would happen is that I would have to pass through the gate, talking to a gatekeeper. Right? I would have to pass through this because if you remember me talking about the fact that there are false energies that try to move through these different sacred places and steal information. Okay, let's just put it that way to make it really easy. Now what we have is, if you feel a calling to some location, or if you feel like there's information missing, or if you feel the energy of the Sphinx in your body or something like that, instead of having to access these points externally, right, or through vision, you're doing it within. Okay, now you still may have to pass through certain types of tests along the way to make sure you are who you are and that you have the good intentions, etc., etc. But what you're finding is that you're going to be able to locate things within your being a little more. So the Dragonfire update, it's the Sapphire Flame Dragons and their Guardian Choirs are activating around Earth's scroll bearers. Okay, all of you who are listening, okay, all of you who feel this intensity, all of you who feel something happening, you don't know what, you can't put your finger on it, but you know that you're excited for something you haven't even seen yet. Those of you who are having visions, who are having experiencing amazing dreams, etc., whose attitude is changing without trying, whose boundaries have gone up, right? And you're not letting in nonsense anymore. The people who are really, really having these massive experiences and are listening in and are starting to activate within you, this is going to get even more intense. And this is what's obviously happening to me, is that I have no choice but to voice, instead of just always writing, and maybe I'll make a video, maybe I wouldn't. Now I'm just telling you about it, right? It's not that I'm sitting here planning what I'm going to say even. I'm just going with it. So these energies of the dragons and the energies of this powerful flame, okay, it's not really a fantasy. This is frequency intelligence that know when the flame codes are being embodied. You know, you have guardians watching over you that know you're changing. So they spiral around those who are speaking truth without copycatting, right? So speaking the truth without false energy. And they awaken in the chest, in the bone, and in the blood memory of those who came first to remember last, okay? So there are many of us that are realizing that we've done all of this before, okay? That we've left information for ourselves, just like with crystals, you know, we leave information, or we did leave information in crystals for us. When you purchase one, it's got information for you because you possibly programmed it, okay? It's the same as this. It's like we're a massive crystal. We've programmed all of this energy into ourselves when the timing is right, and now through doing the right work, we're getting it, okay? So, the dragons bring no fear. They are bringing reminders. This is a year you stop waiting and you begin building. Igniting this energy in others. You're doing it by proxy, okay? You are transmitting what no one else can. You can't transmit what I do, but you can transmit what you do, and no one else can sort of have exactly the same thing as you. Similar, not exactly the same thing, because we're all unique, right, in what we're doing here. And as I keep saying, all of these beautiful flames are just lighting up all over the planet. The ripple effect of that is faster than anything else that we've ever done before. The Guardian realignment. Now, this is something that I was talking about. You may feel a shift in your Guardian system. Some of your protectors are being reassigned. Others are arriving with new roles, new tones, and new names. The false angels are going to fall away now, okay? Only the flame-coded guardians remain. They're here to seal things that were left open, to align you with your living flame blueprints, to remove those that are still speaking in echoes. So, unfortunately, what has happened in the past is that there were a whole lot of angelic energies that weren't really angelic energies and were listening to the thoughts and the vibes of certain people around the globe. Not all some people that were making videos, just people around the globe. And they were listening to their darker thoughts and their darker projections, their hate for people and places and things. And they were coming forth and sort of like acting as guardian angels to these people. And so these people would suddenly see things happening or see things changing, right? And instead of using some kind of system that would test this vibration, they just were going with this. So a negative spirit, a negative angel, whatever, will tune into what it is that you want, right? And start to generate that energy. So you start believing that this is in your best interest, okay? Then all of a sudden, a subtle vibe will change where the guide or the angel will start saying, oh, she doesn't like you. Oh, she thinks you're this and that and the other. Oh, she believes that you're good. So you're going to have to stand up for yourself and go against her. Oh, you're going to have to see, she doesn't really mean what she says, or he, or whatever, right? A real angel would never, okay? A real angel would never speak about somebody else in a negative manner, okay? Because they are all understanding. Now, they can guide your intuition so that you listen to your intuition about situations that may not be correct for you, okay? But they're not going to down talk somebody else, right? So even when you ask the angels about someone who has really, really harmed you in your life, like how horrible that person is or whatever, your angels will always come back to the fact that every soul is on a journey. Every soul's connection with you is some kind of contract in some way. A decision that you made before you came to the planet, either to erase karmic energy or to help you to get onto your path that you really need to get onto, or that these people are helping you to strengthen or to bring confidence. And sometimes we have losses that are contracted in our life. We're like, why would we ask for that? And it's not that your conscious mind in the now has asked and has done something wrong to have that happen to you. But in each person's soul journey, there are these exit points for a reason. Not that it's a reason that you understand in the now when it's happening, but that you understand later. So, for example, an angel is going to say, you should hate this person because they hate you. Okay? I have literally had people, turn because they have been listening to some sort of false energy and believing that it's coming from the right spot. When something is coming from the right spot, it is non-judgmental. It is all understanding. It is loving. It can be guiding. Okay? It can be guiding. But it is very, very understanding of you, your journey, and what you're doing on your journey, and them, their journey, what they're doing. There's no real prying kind of thing going on, right? It's a big no-no. So when we see this realignment happening right now, it's to restructure this vibe that may have been around you. Okay, when I was teaching in the Light Leaders Academy, all right, my own academy, right, I was teaching about doing a clearing, and I knew, okay, that because we were clearing negative energies and we were clearing deeper implants and all kinds of things that were really, really negative, I knew that that negative force would really try to convince some of the students, okay, that I was evil and I was not really who I say I am, and ga ga ga. And you wouldn't believe how many people said, yeah, I really started hating you. And I was like, well, thanks, you know. But I knew that that would happen. And it was a test also to show the students, okay, what they actually need to be listening to is the positive vibration. And if something is negatively recurring to you or saying something that's completely out of the blue or completely different to what you already know to be true, why would you listen to that? Why would you listen to that? It's like if you can, like I was working with somebody for 7 years, and this person and I were connected for 7 years, right? Doing work over the phone and helping and all the rest of it, right? All of a sudden, this very same thing happened to this person where she was like, oh no, some things have come to light and I no longer can work with you anymore. I'm like, what? So you're not going to even explain what that is? Like after 7 years? Just going to listen to that. Not the 7 years of help that you've been given, but you're just going to listen to some BS random person that you probably went and got a reading from or something who turned it all around. See, you got to watch this. If you've been connected with someone for a really, really long time, why would they suddenly be against you? Unless you're getting the messaging from the wrong angels, guardians, or whatever. And I can tell you what, even if you think that, okay, I'm cleared, I'm protected, I've done my declaration, I'm good, I'm good, I'm good. If there was any part of the day where you went and lowered your vibe, okay, your angels and guardians and all of this can't stop you from doing that. That's a choice you're making, you see? So when you say that you're protected, okay, and that you've done your protection and you're still getting crap, right? That's your own crap that you've drawn yourself into somehow, either listening to gossip or seeing a negative post or, you know, you started to overthink something. Your guides and your angels can't stop you overthinking and overdoing. That's not what it's about. However, when you step into your flame sovereignty, you're no longer interested in anything that distracts you from where you're going. And you're certainly not going to turn against someone who's been there for you for such a long, long, long time, and suddenly they're the problem. That's not how this works. It doesn't mean that there are people that are negatively, that there are not people that are negatively affecting you, right? Or that if you start feeling confused about something and you're not grounding yourself and reconnecting yourself and sleeping on it or whatever, right? Sometimes you are getting the constant sensation that something's not right. And this is why we put the mirror flame around, okay? The mirror flame comes around and it shows you who's connected to your vibe now. Not who's hateful of you or evil or this person's wrong. It just either matches or it doesn't anymore. And you don't really need to go any further than that, okay? So some of your protectors that you may have had around you have not really been who they've said they are. And others are coming in now that are more supportive, new roles, new tones, new names, and any false angelic energy falls away. Cannot be around your flame, your mirror flame anyway. Can't be around it. So only these flame-coded guardians remain. They're here to seal what was left open, to align you with your living flame blueprint, and to remove those that are still speaking in negative echoes. Okay. So there's something that you can do tonight. You can light a candle and you can place a bowl of salted water and a small stone besides this. You can use a big stone. This is a big rock from my garden. Isn't it cool? Right? I just love this thing. And it's got a flat bottom and, you know. So anyway, you just put a bowl of salted water and a stone beside that. So you're sort of setting an intention and you're saying, I don't chase light, I restore it. I don't enter the gate, I become it. I don't seek prophecy, I fulfill it. This is the year of my sovereign flame. Okay, so it's connected with your empowerment. You let the water absorb what must be released, and you let the stone anchor what must be reclaimed. Simple, right? So the collective, okay, you as a collective, you're not ascending as outside of yourself, right? You're choosing between loop and the right timeline, between false and between your memory that's emerging, between illusion and ignition. Okay, listening to nonsense over here and moving forward fearlessly, right? You're starting to discern when nonsense is coming into your mind. And you are making sure that before you make any strong decisions, or before you close anybody off completely, or before you just turn away and slam the door, right? Make sure that it is coming from the right place and not from a fear, not from your own feeling of like not being good enough or something, or from lack, or from jealousy, or from whatever it is. Make sure that if you do make a clear decision to exit, it's your decision. It's not coming from something or someone else or gossip or whatever, okay? So this is a threshold ignition point. And you are going to, if you remember this fire, okay, if you remember this powerful energy within you, you're going to pass right through it. And we're going to get to the other side of it and we're going to keep on igniting, right? So it's really, really powerful what's happening here, and what we're shifting into. And even the free flame lens today talks about the veils being really, really, really thin. Again, the Taurus moon lingering into the final echo, stirring reflections in the roots of your destiny. And also, again, dragon memory, a spark of ancient flame, showing you your original truth. Guardian standing behind you, decision is coming near, but it's your voice that is unlocking this. So I release what's not mine. I reclaim what was never lost. The angels are anchoring timelines through your body. You are more cause than effect. Let the fire steady your path. You're not late. You are arriving. Okay? So what I love about this flame frequency is all the different areas that we have yet to discover, and they are connected within yourself. This is what all mastery is about, self-empowerment. And something that I've always said to you is it's always been you. You've always had the knowledge within you. And what happens to us throughout our life is that we get controlled by others, or we get placed into hierarchy, or we get guilted into things through organized religion, or boarding schools, or our family, right, or abuses or trauma. And sometimes people, what they do is they grasp onto something that happened to them and they say, that's why nothing happens to me. This is why, because I had A, B, C, D, E, F, G happen to me. So that's why I haven't gone any further in my life, or that's why I'm not as lucky as others, or that's why you know, I'll never be able to have the confidence, this and that. So they use this thing as something that is a hindrance. And something that I learned a really long time ago was, something is either a hindrance to you in your life or a help. You either get bitter or you get better. And it's like, what's worth your time, what's worth your energy. There's sort of like this psychologically, like you're sort of healing yourself, and also spiritually and emotionally and physically, those things start to fall into line. There is a problem with some people's ego, okay, who I want to put this like delicately, it's like they feel like they already know everything, and therefore everything else is nonsense, right? And that's not what I'm trying to bring across to you all. In fact, I'm trying to bring across to you all the power of the individual. Your connections to ancient places, things that are buried beneath the sea, things that are ancient in the celestial, into the heavens, other universes, dimensional dimensions, other timelines, and things that you can pick up on, and places that are ancient, like for example Avalon, etc. Mu, the Sphinx, the pyramid, other pyramids around the globe, structures around the globe that are unexplained. All of these things are connected in with all of you. We have help in order to discover it all as well. And this is what I'm trying to bring forth, is the power of creating miracles for yourself by believing in yourself and your ability to be able to conquer anything that comes up in your life, right? And the way that we do this is with structured action. You can't just sit there wishing that everything's better and thinking that that's the answer. We have to do things in a structure so that we can then gain control and mastery of everything in our life, right? So what happens to some people is this, they say to themselves, okay, I've got this appointment coming up. I'm just going to use this as an example. I have this appointment coming up. I'm going to think about this damn appointment, what I'm going to say, what I'm going to wear, what I'm going to look like, how it's going to come across, what the person's going to be like, whether they're going to do this to me or they're going to do that to me, or whether I should go in for this testing or that testing, or whether it should be in this place or that place. I'm going to think about this thing. It's going to drive me crazy. I'm really scared. It could be going in any direction. I wish I knew. Here's all the signs. Here's what the doctor is. Here's the nurse's name. Here's the pharmacist's name. And I could go this way and I could go that way. And oh my God, what if Google Maps is wrong and I'm taking the wrong direction, and then I get there late, and then I won't be able to get that appointment again, and how am I going to afford it, and where's it going to go to, and what about when I get the results back, then how am I going to tell my family, who's going to be there to listen to me, I haven't got anybody with me, people do this all the time. I used to be one of them, doing it all the time, constantly stressing over something that hasn't even happened yet, right? And so therefore making it even worse for myself, because now I'm adding stress to a situation that's potentially already going to be kind of like, you know, something you don't really want to do or whatever, right? And so the idea, or what I'm trying to explain to you, is this isn't about being psychic or connected or, well, you're great at it, Becky, because you'll know. No, this is not it, right? This is a choosing. Okay, it's not a knowing, like I know how something's going to work out, so therefore I'm cool about it. No, I choose that something's going to be okay. I choose that I'm not going to worry about it, right? I choose happiness. I don't let anything sort of disrupt my joy. Okay, not for too long anyway, right? Because I can choose that or I can choose something else, right? So you're choosing the experience that you want to have. And you can choose to sit there stressing out about every little thing, every little detail, every little particular, right? You can choose those things, and that will become either your reality or a bigger problem, right? Than you actually anticipated anyway, right? Because you've forced all of this energy towards it, so it's grown, okay? Something I learned a long time ago is to choose your adventure. What's your adventure going to be? Is this going to be easy? Okay, it may not be, okay? But I'm choosing that I will be able to get through it easily. I don't go to the doctor. I don't go and have x-rays. I don't go and have wellness checks. I don't go and have mammograms. I don't go and have the other yucky word that we don't like, right? That women have to have. I don't go to a podiatrist. I don't go to a dentist, right? Or I haven't, at least for a long time, unless there's an issue. I don't. Okay? I don't have to have someone tell me that at my age, I need to be having blah, 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 blah tests, okay? Or that I'm well, or that my blood's fine, or that I might need to have a mammogram and squash my boobs even further and burst all those nodes in there, etc. You think I'm going to have an easy time after that, having all of that squished to the smithereens? You don't think it would make something worse, right? So why look? That's my choice, right? I don't get the jabs. I don't get a flu shot. I don't get anything that I don't want in my being. When I was a child, I didn't have a choice. Mum took me to all that stuff and jabbed me up, right? I used to go to dental program through school because we all had in Australia. You got a dental appointment through the school, so they were checking up on your teeth until you finished school or whatever, right? And teeth are a whole different subject, but it wasn't like you have insurances and things like that in Australia unless you really want them or unless you have the money for them, because most things are free. Like you have free healthcare and all of that. It might not be the best healthcare, but at least if something goes wrong, you've got the option, right? But something that I never did as I got older was continue this yearly process. Dogs are doing a howl. This yearly process, or I have to do this because I'm at this age, or I should check that because I'm at that age, or maybe I should stop doing this because it's going to cause this, or smoking, or whatever. If you believe smoking's going to kill you, it will. That's as simple as that. If you are excessive about anything that you do, it's going to cause an issue, right? Now, I'm not saying, okay, go ahead, everybody smoke a packet a day, whatever, right? But I smoke, okay, after 5 p.m. is when I'll have a smoke. If I want one, right? I don't care. I don't smoke all day. I can't wake up in the morning and go, I can't. But after I'm finished all my work, and at the end of the day, if I want to have a cigarette, I will. Okay? And that is the truth. And do I look that bad or something? No. If I did it excessively, okay. And I started thinking about it and I started worrying about it and I needed chest exams and I'm like, whatever. Wow. Then there might be an issue because I'm generating this. And this is what I'm telling you now. You can have a drink. Do you have to wake up in the morning and have some alcohol? Can you have it at a certain time of the day? Can you have it 2 days in a row? Yeah. If you think it's going to harm you and you are generating that, it will, right? If you want to have a cigarette, and this is what I tell people about quitting smoking. I said, put your smokes right where they are. Put them in sight. Put them in your purse, whatever you got to do. You know where they are, right? So you're not telling yourself, I have to quit. I have to stop. What you're saying to yourself instead is, I can have one if I want one. And guess what? You likely not really want one because you know they're right there. They haven't gone anywhere. They're not out of sight. And then you can eventually stop, right? If you want to. Or you could be a social smoker like me. Hey, having a drink, smoke's coming out. And, you know, do I have to be a perfect guru here? You know, like, or, you know, oh, you don't do anything that... No, because I believe what I believe. And that is, it only harms me if I actually believe it will. Same with anything else. If my belief system shows me evidence of something, right, I will listen. The evidence that I have at 50 is to be in better shape than I was when I was like 25, okay? To feel like I'm becoming different, I'm looking different, I feel good about myself, my skin, I'm feeling better about whatever it is that I eat. I've taken all the sugar out of my diet. You know, we just have lower carbs, not no carbs, but lower, higher protein without meat, because I don't eat meat. That's my choice, okay? And the joints, so if I feel something, sore joints or stiffness or some things that are so-called symptoms of menopause or peri or whatever, right? I'll just challenge it in an opposite way. Again, that's me. That's after years and years and years of knowing what to do and working with healing with people and providing structures and providing a method and providing a way out of stuff. You actually have to go through it. And then when you find something that works, right? Do you go back to the old way that wasn't serving? You know, do you go back to that? Or do you just stay, you know, how you are? Spiraling. So the message that you're getting here is about ignition. It's go time. And yeah, there are things that you may do out of habit. And this is giving you the message of, okay, let's be really honest here. What sort of crap am I still doing to myself? Okay. So, you know, even for me, even though I can quickly sort of change things, there are some instances where it gets to me that people will still listen to such BS, such rubbish. And I think to myself, why would people even instinctively think that that's not weird or wrong or strange, right? Or whatever it is. And I think to myself, people are still listening. People are still watching. People are still paying certain people, right, that are famous around the spiritual communities, etc. And some of the things that they say are just so disempowering. And you're always waiting and you're always nearly there kind of thing. And in this work, it's like, here it is. You got it. And you want more? You're going to be back every day? Here's more. Here's more. Here's more. Here's more. It's going to unravel for you all. Now, coming to the webinars, obviously you get even bigger stuff, right? But I'm still going to look after people that can't afford anything, because I totally get that. This is why I got into this business in the first place. So the angels are anchoring the correct timelines into your being, which means one day you might say, I don't even feel like smoking anymore, or I don't even feel like sucking on my vape anymore, or watching the news, or I can't be bothered with what's happening with the presidents and this and that. I can't be bothered with riots and this. I'm not giving my energy away to stuff that really you've got no real control over. In fact, you might be giving more power to something that you don't like by thinking about it, you see? More power to things you don't like by thinking of it. This is why you have to really focus in on what you're doing, what you're saying, what you're thinking. Now, I know that there are some people out there that hate certain things, that could never go off of eating meat or could never smoke or whatever, and that's good. More power to you. That's absolutely fine. There is nothing in any of the work that I've ever done that would force you into a direction that you don't want to go into. There are options though, and you will know what it is that you need to be doing. And I used to think for a long time, like, my business is my business, meaning what I do personally is my business. But if I want to be completely transparent and open with all of you, I'm going to tell you that I'm a social smoker. I smoke in the evenings. I don't smoke much, but I do smoke. And I don't care either. I really enjoy it, actually. It's fun. So if there comes a point where I don't want to completely do it, or it's not in my energy field anymore, or whatever, then that will happen, because I'm always shown what I need to be doing. But it also comes down to whatever you believe in. Belief systems are everything. If you believe you're going to fail, you will, and probably worse than you thought. But if you see yourself in a successful light, and if you can understand yourself from the viewpoint of unconditional love, and you say, this is okay, as long as it's not hurting anybody else, right? Or, being violent, or, conspiring against, or whatever. Whatever it is that you do for yourself, a glass of wine, or you sit with a cigarette and a glass of wine, big whoop. You sit there with a joint and a glass of wine, who cares? Is it hurting anybody? Does it hurt you? Do you feel, because if you start getting all bent out of shape about it, maybe it's not right for you, right? You see, I have to be very real here. People have very real lives, and no one is suggesting, like you might get in some particular types of sex, right? I mean sex as in SECTX, or places where, different spiritual modalities, right? They may say you have to abstain from everything. That is BS. That's only going to force something worse on the other side of that. So if you abstain and pull yourself away from everything, you're going to want that thing more. Like smoking, like I was saying. If you throw your packs of smokes out, what's the first thing you want to do? I got to have a smoke. Jesus Christ, I'm driving everybody crazy, right? So if you have them away from you, you're going to chase them. If you have them with you, it's okay. It's almost like it just gives you that a little bit of security. Why don't you just have a half of one? Why don't you just have a little puff? And eventually it's like, ugh, I feel sick, ugh. Like I do when it's the morning and up until about 5 o'clock or 5:30 or whatever, when I finally am able to stop for the day. Because, my day starts at about 5:30 until, I don't know, late, because of the dogs and cleaning up after the dogs and dinner and house and farmland and logs and splitting and fencing or whatever else we're doing besides me getting on here. Plus the eBay, we have a little eBay store, and we're trying to keep that. Apparently it's available internationally now. Wasn't our choice. But yeah, if any of you want to know the little eBay store, I can give you that link too. But that's just a little thing that we're doing for fun, stuff that we had gathered or, not used or whatever it is, okay? So, understand that the fire is steadying your path. Each one of you have this flame within. You have the ability of being able to heal, being able to have all of your abilities intact, being in connection with ancient places, people, connections with ancient items, even you might find across on your travels, right, along the way. And be yourself. You don't have to be this perfect person without any habits or this, that, and the other. You're a work in progress, right? So you don't have to feel bad. Or some people were like, oh, I didn't want to tell you I smoked. And I'm like, why not? Like, I don't care. I smoke in the evenings. Big deal. Who cares, right? I didn't want to tell you that I swear. I swear like a sailor when I'm not on film. Who cares? If that's who I am, right? I'm just down to earth me, right? So when people come forward and they hold stuff back, they think that I'm going to judge them for something. No, I've had enough of that of my own, right? So just be careful. There's also another little saying that someone said a long, long time ago. And that was, if you're afraid of what someone else thinks of you, or if you're afraid that someone is going to judge you, you are judging them. And that might be why you're afraid. And that's a very big lesson, right? That's a very big lesson for all of us. If we're so afraid of judgment, it's because we do this. So we need to stop that as well and really just settle in to the self, where you're going, what you're doing, what you love, right? Express yourself, share stuff. Like my husband, we were having so much fun the other night that we were filming antics and we were singing songs and all of this. So he filmed me singing, Pat Benatar, right? And I'm just hamming it up because he's taken all these weird angles with the thing. And I can't share it on here, but I guess I can put the link in a post, right? Or something like that. You can watch it if you want to. If anyone wants to see me singing and hamming it up, I will put the link down below as well. But it's just like, if I was afraid of like people thinking to themselves, oh, she shouldn't be doing that, or what is she doing? I would never step forward with any of this work. So be yourself, right? Be unique to you. Understand that we have this 11 ignition point tomorrow. The portal's within us. There's going to be some big shifting that occurs, some sorting things out. Maybe you're writing some things down that you want to have happen, or you want to see happen, or that you feel is already happening within yourself. Don't be afraid to be all who you are, because if people accept it, they accept it. If they don't, they don't, right? And nobody is perfect here. That's not what it's not exactly what I'm trying to tell you. It's more that, you have everything you need perfectly intact. It's time for you to access it. This is what this channel is about, creating miracles for yourself, understanding that you're the key to everything, okay? And if this has been helpful to you, I'm grateful for that. I'm so happy when something resonates. And let me know if you want to see something in particular. Put it down in the comments. Otherwise, I would love to see you on my Patreon page for the Flame tier. And that is always in the posts that I create, okay? So the link for that, etc. I might make a little list of things for you if you want to see them. And sending you all so much love, okay? I hope you really feel this message today. And until the next time, bye for now. Bye, everyone.